Welcome back to Sparks of Joy Studio. In today's video, I have a couple quick and easy thrift flips for you. This first project is a plastic mirror. It has a very ornate design, which I really loved. I did paint it in white, and then I took the nestled bird decoupage paper from Connie Lines and Designs, and this is the full sheet. This is the large version. It's 8 by, I say 8 by 10. It's actually 8 by 11, but I typically use it as an 8 by 10. I'm using the ceramic blade that I got off of Amazon, and it works so well. I'm very impressed that without having that metal sharp blade, this can cut just as well and be very safe for yourself. I am not the most careful when I am crafting, so this really does help. This actually, like I said, was a plastic mirror, but I want to turn it into a frame, and I felt that this was the easiest way to do that. Connie's paper is very, very durable, and using this method actually worked very well. I didn't get any kind of rips or tears. That little edge on that cutter was perfect. So if this is something you want to try, I can leave a link below. Now that I have that done, you can see I have spray sealed the mirror, so it does have that kind of opaque look, or it's a little bit, it's not as shiny and it's not as transparent. I am painting the outside of the frame now using the Champagne Gold by Fusion, which is a metallic paint. And I'm going to go ahead and cover the entire frame with this color, and I really only needed one coat. Now that the paint is dry, I'm taking some dark wax and I am rubbing it all over the edges of the frame, and I am going to cover the top with that ornate design as well as the sides, just to kind of keep it even and cohesive around the entire piece. And then I will come back with a microfiber cloth and wipe back the excess. I'm down to the last little bits of my Fusion Decoupage gel, so I decided to use that for today's project. I am giving this piece quite a healthy coat of this decoupage medium. Now, it is down to the end. It is a little bit more sticky and not as, I guess, wet as it usually is. So I wasn't sure how it would work. That's one of the reasons I did more. The other reason I put a little extra on there is because I do not have it painted. The mirror is not painted underneath. It does have the spray seal on it. And I have a very durable rice paper here. So when I lay that down, I want to make sure that it sticks. And with Connie's paper, you do need to make sure that you're using enough decoupage medium, or you will have to go back and add some more. I lay the beautiful paper, these nestled birds, on the piece. Press it down, make sure that it's even across all of the project. It was misted prior to laying it down, and now I'm going to come back and cover the top of the paper with that decoupage medium again. If you are new here, my name is Natalie, and I am the owner and creator behind Sparks of Joy Studio. Welcome back to my channel. I love doing all kinds of thrift flips and DIYs, and today's video is all about quick, easy, and fun. I wanted to show you some of the papers that I currently have. I'm getting a whole bunch more in. You guys have sold me out of quite a few things, so more are coming. But some of the ones that I have available, and I wanted to kind of bring in not only the newer ones that Connie has. These are some of the newer papers that she just, this is actually the bonus release that just came out, the most recent one. But I feel like it's really good for some of you, just like myself, to see some of the throwbacks that she has, like some of her original work from last year and the year before. Because these ones, if you notice, they don't have the Connie lines on them. And it's a different style. I love the variety that she offers. And I want to showcase all of them because to me, all of these are new. I'm relatively new to Connie's work. So to me, everything is like amazing. I love getting new stuff and finding new things. I do have these in both the larger size, so like the same as this size, as well as these that you can get 2 5x7s. Same with these two designs. And feel free to go onto my website. You can look them up. And like I said, more are on the way. So you'll see more released on my website after May 1st. And then our Wren, which I had in the multiples, and I did get the full size in. So if you order 5 of them, so it is the month of May. May is the 5th month. So I wanted to do some cool deals with 5s. You can order 5 and you will receive this decoupage napkin,
This one is beautiful. I absolutely love the green in this one. This one is for Teacher Appreciation Week, which is also this month of May. I wanted to add a blue and white design, which I know is very popular. Some sunflowers for upcoming summer. And then I threw in something with birds, but a little bit more color than what we had in last month's bundle. In addition to these 5 napkins, you will receive, and the reason I'm doing this is because I just hit 10,000 subscribers, so I wanted to give you an extra deal.
For our next project, I will be using these 2 wooden plates, I guess. I'm not sure exactly what they are, but I got them off or from a thrift store. They were $1 each, and I'm starting by painting this first one in Oakum by Fusion because I do want to use the reverse transfer method on it. Once that paint was dry, I am coming back now with this buttercream chalk mineral paint. This is by Dixie Belle. I do get my Dixie Belle products from the Vintage Hen and Chick, and I wanted to showcase something that she just recently put out. Shelly is the owner and creator of Vintage Hen and Chick, and she just put out a freebie for everyone of this beautiful bird design. And I wanted to show you one way to use it that's a little different than how she shows in her more recent video. I'll leave a link below to that video so you can go ahead and watch what she created and also grab that freebie if this is something that you want to. I'm going to cover this entire piece with this buttercream chalk mineral paint, allow it to dry, and then we'll come back for the next step. Those 2 coats of paint are now dry, and I did do a light sanding across the top. That's how you see that there's a little bit of the oakum peeking through, and that's just to really prep it for this reverse transfer method. Here is that beautiful bird. This design was created by Shelly at the Vintage Hen and Chick, and I'm really excited to show you a different way that you can use it. This is the reverse transfer method I'm doing, and I'm going to start by just tracing the project that I'm going to be putting this transfer on, and I'm doing that just so I have a little bit more of an even cut. This makes it a little easier when you're doing reverse transfer because you actually are going to be decoupaging or putting your decoupage medium onto the actual picture itself rather than putting it on the back or putting it on the base of your project and then laying the paper down. So once this part is done, I'm going to take my absolute favorite decoupage medium for this method, which is the DecoArt Decoupage Matte. It works so well, way better than Mod Podge, so I highly recommend it. And I'm going to give this paper a very healthy coat, like I said, right onto the paper, right onto that image. This is what's going to allow all of that ink to adhere and to go right on to the base, which has that chalk paint. I do use a color laser printer. Some people have asked me that in previous videos. It is an HP color laser jet printer, and it is very old. I think I've had it for maybe 10 years. So I don't know that this specific one is available, but I will say HP is probably my favorite brand when it comes to printers just in general. So I would look up to see. It is a little bit pricier, but the ink cartridges and the actual printer lasts for a very long time, as you can see. I've now laid that face side down, and I am taking just anything. You could take a credit card, you could take the back of anything, you can even just use your hands. You just really want to make sure you're pressing that paper into the project because that will make sure that as much of the ink transfers over and there's no like holes or any gaps in between the paper and the wood itself. Once that's done, I let it sit for several hours and then we'll come back and wipe back that extra paper that's on top. To wipe back that extra paper, I just took my Mister bottle and sprayed some water right onto the towel that I'm using, got the paper wet enough for it to start kind of peeling back, and now I'm just using my fingers to gently rub and wipe away the excess paper that's on top of that image. I do go lightly, but as you can see, I am going quickly through this project. This is sped up, but I am going quickly to reveal that image, and it creates such a beautiful transfer that is more permanent than you would get if you were decoupaging on. So there are definitely multiple ways to use this type of paper. This is just a quick printable that you can do at home for free if you have if you have the printer and all that stuff. And it really creates a great finish. Once I'm done rubbing this all back, I do set it aside to dry a bit before I move on to the next step, but I will want to go ahead and seal this with a kind of more durable sealer. And that's mainly because I was thinking of using this more as like a coaster or like a hot plate, not necessarily a piece of decor, but you can. So any way you decide to seal it, I chose to use Dixie Belle's toughest top coat, which is gator hide. It is a very durable type of sealer. It's probably one of the best top coats that you can get for any type of furniture. And for this project specifically, I wanted something extremely durable. So if you're looking for that rock hard finish and you want to have kind of that matte look, this is definitely an option for you to try. This is also available at the Vintage Hen and Chick. There is a link in the description box below. I wanted to give you a quick peek of this. Look at those like streaky lines that are going down vertically on the back part of the bird. That was not on the original design. That is that oakum peeking through that then made its way to the very top. I didn't necessarily plan for that, but I think it looks really cool. As you saw, I did have two of these little plaques plates, and I'm painting the other one again in that buttercream. I didn't put a base on it because what I plan to do with this one is decoupage some of that rice paper from Connie Lines and Designs on top. So once I have this painted with just one good coat of that buttercream chalk mineral paint, I'm going to come back and I am going to begin layering some different types of rice paper on top. The first rice paper that I'll be using is the mixed media paper with birds. There are two that are available on my website. This is the one that has kind of some abstract green birds in it. And you'll see I've used most of this paper already. This is some of the scraps that I had left over from a different project. I'm going to lay my decoupage medium down. I am still using that Fusion decoupage gel for this. And then I'm going to lay my paper on top. I do mist it very lightly, just a bit, to kind of help it lay down and not get any gaps or wrinkles. But once that is done, I press it down and let it dry thoroughly after putting the decoupage medium on top. And then I'll come back and I wanted to kind of layer on another one of Connie's designs. Here is this lovely design that Connie designed herself. And this was actually not one that I can offer you on my website. This is part of Sonnet's Makers Box. It was, I believe, in the January Makers Box. And so it's one I had left over. Obviously, it has more of a wintry vibe to it. And I wanted to kind of show you how you could take something like this and turn it into decor that could be more year-round or even more spring-like by layering it with that pink mixed media background that we just put onto our project. Now that that first layer is dry, I am coming in with a finger sander and I am going to sand down all of the excess paper that is on this plate. And once that is done, I will grab the other little bird that I cut out and I am going to find the perfect spot for it on this design. I'm using my Fusion decoupage gel again, and I lay a layer of it down and then place my bird down. I did not paint the background of this bird. I mean, maybe I should have. I didn't mind that it was a little bit transparent on his belly. And I feel like it kind of mixes in, it creates that vibe that this is one complete design. Once I have it laid down, I grab my decoupage gel and I cover it again, and then just go over the entire project with one more layer of that medium. Here is a look at our final projects today. I think they are all perfect because they are quick, they are very budget friendly, and they make wonderful gifts, wonderful home decor for yourself. They can be teacher appreciation gifts. There's great ways to do little projects like this and create a big impact. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please let me know in the comments below if you liked these flips, if there was one that was your favorite, if there's a technique that you really liked, and if there's something that you would like to see from me in an upcoming video. I hope you have a very happy Wednesday, and I will see you very soon.